What is up, my friends? This is Simon here, and today we're going to be talking about the law of attraction and manifestation. Here's the deal with the law of attraction, though. There's a lot of people that aren't quite sure if it works out, right? There's people who bought that book, The Secret, or watched the movie and they got all excited and they thought, I'm going to go out there and manifest some shit. And 98% of them aren't really getting the results that they want. Now, can you blame them for not feeling like the law of attraction might be a little bit of bullshit? Here's the thing, though, it actually does work, but a lot of people are being taught how to do it the wrong way. So today we're going to dive into the law of attraction. I'm going to get you all tuned up so you can manifest on a completely new level. And there's a really key ingredient that most people are missing out on. So stay tuned. Before we dive in, though, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button. This channel is all about money, mindset, and motivation for the driven entrepreneur, and I want to take care of you, my friend. Okay, so what exactly is the law of attraction? If you're watching this video, you probably already know or have an idea or have your own definition of what the law of attraction is. Here's the thing is most people think of the law of attraction as thoughts create reality, right? If I have positive thoughts, I'm going to attract more positive things in my life. If I have negative thoughts, I'm going to attract more negative things into my life. And I think there's a lot of truth to that, but I think where people get wrong is they think that it's this metaphysical thing. But what we're going to talk about on today's episode is how your thoughts actually influence your behaviors and your actions, and how some people think that they're doing the law of attraction, but they're actually doing it completely wrong. So there's this hilarious parody on YouTube by the comedian JP Sears. And in this skit, he's talking about the law of attraction. And he starts to think about all this stuff that he wants to manifest in life. He wants more money. He wants to have a dream relationship. He wants to have a brand new Ferrari parked out in his driveway. And so he sits around and he's meditating and he's journaling and hoping and praying that this stuff is going to come to him. 5 years goes by. Finally, the doorbell rings and he's like, that's it. That's my Ferrari. I can't wait to go get it. And he opens the door. Instead of a Ferrari, it's Hal Elrod, the motivational speaker. And he kind of grabs him by the scruff of the neck and says, look, you can't be just hoping that these things are going to show up. You actually got to be creating your dream life. Now, what's so funny about these parodies is they say comedy is like a reflection of real life. And I think a lot of people get it wrong when it comes to the law of attraction. And you can't blame them. I mean, even in the movie The Secret, right? The Secret really doesn't talk about taking action. They're talking about like sitting there and just hoping that these checks will show up in your mailbox. And that leads people down the wrong path. And to me, it makes total sense. You've got to be out there taking action, learning, gaining knowledge, and then implementing what you learn, making that stuff happen. But for a lot of people, they don't do this. They want the quick and easy path, and then they're left completely disappointed when that doesn't happen. Now, here's what we're going to dive into. The secret, not so secret ingredient of the law of attraction that's going to help you level up when it comes to manifesting your dream life. Okay, now we're going to dive into the biggest mistake that people make when it comes to the law of attraction. Okay, it is actually in the word law of attraction, LAWATTRACTION. The last part of that is action. And crazy enough, people aren't taking the action. They try to manifest it. They have the thoughts in the right place. They know what they want. They're setting the intent and they're broadcasting into the universe. And then they're sitting around and waiting for things to fall in their lap. Now, here's the thing I want to ask you, okay? What kind of energy are you broadcasting into the quantum field, into the universe when you're not willing to take action? What it says to me is you're using wishful thinking. You're hoping and praying that things are going to fall in your lap. Now, one thing I know the universe loves is somebody who is willing to take action, to grab things and go get it instead of waiting for things to fall in their lap. And if you notice, the people that are not getting success with the law of attraction, aren't they typically the people who are just kind of like lackadaisical, hoping and wishing and waiting for things, kind of having that victim mentality? The people who get results are the people who go out there and take action. On top of that, the more that you take action, the more you are actually creating the skill set that you need to create that life that you want. Now, I want you to think about this, okay? When it comes to relationships, okay? If I have somebody in my mind that I want to be in my life, and I want to attract them to me, is it good enough if I just wish and hope and pray for them? And that person probably wouldn't be attracted to me. So how is it that you attract that type of a person? By becoming the type of person that your dream relationship would want to be with. Now, it's the same thing when it comes to creating more money or creating that life that you want, that title, the career, the house, all those beautiful things that you want to attract. Okay, it's a two-way street. That life needs to be attracted to you as well. So what does that involve? It involves taking action. But here's another thing too, is you've got to develop the characteristics and qualities that that person would have. You've got to develop the habits, the mindset, the relationships, taking action. So as you can see, the law of attraction isn't this like woo-woo mystical thing. There's a lot of practicality to it. And when you put these things in the equation, taking action, developing your skills, gaining the characteristics and habits, and becoming the person that would be attractive to the lifestyle that you want to create. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the correspondence of thoughts to actions. Okay, so this is why positive thinking can be very effective and why it can work for some people and not for others. Okay, so if I have my mind in the right place, if I am having positive thoughts, if I'm setting the intent and I'm feeling it, what's most likely going to be happening? I'm going to go out there and take the action that I need to. And when I take action, I'm going to get the results that I want. And when the results come, then my mindset improves, right? So it all starts with your thoughts, but there's a difference. There's a nuance here. Somebody who is looking for the quick and easy, what is that doing? What is the feeling that comes into the body? It creates this feeling of expectation, of hopefulness, even neediness. The result from that is a lack of action. And what happens when you're not taking action? You're not getting results. What happens when you don't get results? That feeds back into your mindset and you start questioning things. You start doubting, okay? If you start doubting, are you really creating more action? You're not. You're just sitting around and you're questioning things. And then you're wondering why it doesn't work out. Then you're starting to get that anxiety and that cortisol, that nervousness, the self-doubt, the imposter syndrome. All these negative thoughts come spiraling in because the thought wasn't in the right place in the first place. So where your thoughts need to be is asking questions. How can I make this happen? What can I do? How can I become the person that I need to be to manifest that dream life that I want? What am I willing to give up, right? So when you ask those questions, it drops a different feeling to your body. You start to feel some of that dopamine. It starts to kick you into action. You start to tap into the resourcefulness that lies within that beautiful brain of yours to create a solution. Then what happens? You start getting some results. And you're like, wow, this kind of is working. And then what happens is that reinforces that the law of attraction is actually working. The thoughts create the feeling in your body. The feeling in your body creates the actions or the inactions, right? And if you are taking the right actions, then you'll start getting the results. And that starts to confirm that the law of attraction is working. This is why it seems so easy for some people to manifest, while others just seem to be spinning their wheels, getting more and more frustrated, getting more stuck. Again, it's the thoughts that create the feeling. The feeling creates the action or the lack of action. The action creates results, or the lack of action doesn't create results. And based on that, that reinforces what's going on in your mind. This is why it seems so easy for the people who have their thoughts in the right place and willing to do what they need to do to become the person that they need to be to create the life that they want, the life that is attracted to that type of a person, and rejecting the person that is not taking action, rejecting the person that is sitting on their ass and hoping and praying for things to manifest. Okay, now that you understand the connection between the thoughts, the feeling, the action, and the results, and how that confirms the thought in the first place, now we're going to kick the law of attraction into overdrive. Now that we know what we need to do, I want you to level it up. I want you to start getting more uncomfortable. So here's the thing. You cannot wait until things are convenient. You cannot wait to be a respondent. You need to be proactive. The universe, like I said, loves it when somebody goes out there and takes what they want, when they go and press themselves upon the world. So instead of being reactive, I want you to be proactive. Start asking yourself, what is it that I can do today to go create the life that I want? Another thing that I want you to do is to understand that the universe is not on a timeline. What a lot of people do, this starts to unravel the law of attraction too, is they expect things to happen in a certain amount of time. Now, everything in nature expands infinitely. Everything is abundant and growing outwards. But what do human beings do? We always put a timeline on things. Think about a baby. Like, can you rush a baby? Can you rush a tree growing out in nature? Okay, Give it some time. What you need to be doing is nurturing the roots. So as you take action and develop yourself, that's kind of like putting a plant in a soil that allows it to grow and expand on its own, but you can't put a timeline on it. And one thing that really fucks up the law of attraction is when you start questioning when things are going to come. You start getting impatient. You start trying to exert control over it. Now, let me ask you this. In your job or in life, do you like being controlled? So why are you trying to control the universe? Stop gripping on. Do your thing. One of my buddies calls this chopping wood. Take action and do it consistently. Get off of trying to micromanage things. Stop trying to control everything. Let it happen. Let it unfold naturally. And you've got to trust that it's going to happen. Like I said, trust is a part of this as well. Remember what we said, what happens with doubt? What's happening when you're questioning it, how long this is taking, when you're getting impatient, when you're so focused on the outcomes, you're missing out on the actions that you need to take to make this happen. You need to trust the actions are going to create you into the person that is so worthy and so desired by that life and that outcome that you want, that it starts to come to you. This is what they mean by attraction, is it literally feels like things are going to start coming to you. When you become a different person, everything that you want out in that external world will start to find its way to you. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to say about the law of attraction is I want you to have a vision that is so tactile that you can literally feel it. Something that gets you up. If we think about it, and the thoughts do create our feelings and emotions, which influence our actions that we take to get the results that we want. How bright, how clear, how vivid can we make that vision? I'll tell you right now, I wake up in the morning at about 5:45 every single day, even on the weekends, and I don't use an alarm clock. I don't hit the snooze button. I'm excited to get out of my bed and start creating this beautiful life. Now, on the other end of it, that beautiful life that we all want, what is more attractive to that life? Somebody who is always hitting the snooze button, making excuses, sitting around, hoping and praying and wishing that things are going to come to them, or somebody who is so excited about life that they can't wait to get out of bed and start creating, right? What about the person who is willing to do whatever it takes? Think about Kobe Bryant, right? I love talking about him because he was always showing up to the gym at 4 a.m. and he'd be texting his coach, when are you going to get here? Because he was so lit up, so excited to perfect the craft. He was working on improving the game. He wasn't so focused on all the awards, the championships, the rings, the money, this being a star. What he loved was the process of getting better, of refining his shots. And he was not sitting around meditating and hoping that this would all fall in his lap. Can you see the difference? The universe loves people who are willing to go deep, who are willing to take action, and who are willing to be a student and learn what is possible and to go deeper, longer, and harder than anybody else out there. That is the law of attraction, my friends. It is not some mystical woo-woo thing. Maybe there is a little bit of that, but this really does have a lot to do with your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and that's what creates your results. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please leave me a comment. Let me know some of your crazy stories when it comes to manifestation. And make sure you subscribe to this channel because I am all about creating more money, improving your mindset, and giving you some motivation to go out there and dominate in life.